Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back from work, and now I'm sick. That's why I sound different, and mostly because on these videos, I'm kind of out of character. So let's go for it. This is kind of common response, mostly because there's two comments that were really interesting, both from Rapman5. So the first one is the bigger one, and I'm gonna take that from last. The second one is the more shorter one, and it really talks about the Ghost Recon Phantom. And let me say one thing: I didn't like. It was not because I remember about Ghost Recon Phantom, then I'm bringing that up. It's more because of this. I'm gonna try to find a clip, but here you go.
For all players. But that's not all. You'll keep the same character throughout your whole experience in Breakpoint. This means you keep the same customization, the same skills, the same weapons, the same progression across the entire game. And this is just...
So, the question that this kind of raises is, since share progression will not only be class perks, will be on gear equipment too, does that mean then the entire grind, like plus damage, plus whatever it is, will affect this multiplayer, the Ghost War stuff too? I kinda don't... Look, I'm gonna be honest, never touched the Ghost War stuff, but for anyone who did, can someone like put some of the... how this would affect? For example, if you really have to grind for it, would that go better or worse? The second one is when he kind of detailed the three type of people who really... the three audience there are right now on the community of the Ghost Recon. And has he put the major battle inside the community? It's mostly about the tactical semi-realistic people, the open world people, and the RPG looter gamer. And to be honest, I think he nailed the entire point. If you look to the tactical semi-realistic people, we have the old Ghost Recon people, the people who want a more tactical game and all of that thing. For the open world, we see that we got a lot of sacrifices from the tactical people for the wildlands. And I don't know, I'm still enjoy wildlands and I really like, but I can understand people who think was a step in the wrong direction. And maybe that is the thing. Maybe now then I'm just now seeing how bad that step was on that wrong direction when we sit and we are sacrificing more from the realistic type of gameplay for adding another layer on the game. He finished the quote, and I'm gonna leave the entire comment on screen, and it's two part. I'm gonna need to make on two parts or something like that, but you can go on the last video and see for yourself. The developer changed core formulas and sacrificed main criteria of the tactical shooter to make more suitable for all players except the tactical ones. And the reason for that is simple. They are sacrificing so much more. Like, they cannot sacrifice anything from the open world people, because the open world people, they are quote unquote easy to like appeal, and there's not much. While the tactical gameplay does really conflict a lot of the RPG mechanics. Because of that, I think he nails. And the reason, maybe I mistake his take, and if I do, please comment below so I can understand it a little bit better. I do believe that Ubisoft are doing that and committing the same mistake that many of the developers do these days when they are approaching old franchise. They are trying to appeal for the wider audience, the magical unicorn of the gameplay of the game industry, because the wider audience does not exist really. The group of people, like, I don't like using casual players, but let's put that way. The casual people, they will hear first from the people who know the franchise, aka the semi-realist gamer, if the game is good, because it is a franchise. They will ask for the people who already play the game and know the game, and well, does this new game is good or bad? And if the people who played the game before and say no, the game is not bad, the game is not good. It's not anymore. They add a lot of problems. Then that's not gonna attract new people. And I think that's the problem not only of Ghost Recon, with many and many franchises. The search for the larger audience, the wider audience, the magical unicorn, however you want to talk, it's really what killing most of the games. Now, and that's what would be probably it for this video. First, because I'm really sick and my throat is hurting like hell, and I don't like doing videos when I'm out of character. I really don't. I found like very jarring and it's sad because when I'm out of character, I'm not that emotive, and I don't find funny, and I don't find charisma. So yeah, I'm not. I would, but that would be the end of the video. So yeah, I highly recommend you go read his comment, and because really his comment nailed the problem here. The looter gamer mechanic mostly conflicts with the tactical sense of the game. Even in some, even if for example the open world can like accommodate the looter RPG, and the open world is the one who can accommodate both. It can accommodate a little bit of the tactical sense of the tactical sense, but cannot accommodate both the looter RPG and the tactical one. So I think that's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, probably. Now there was another comment. So, let's go for this other comment. Gonna be on screen as always. This one I can fit in one. I'm gonna go from bottom to top, kinda. Do I need to say 3 fucks per sentence? I don't place a number of fucks that I need to place on every sentence. But I'm not gonna lie, mostly on Ramblings of a Madman style videos, I do believe then it's not enough. I already think on placing like a fuck counter on the right top corner. So every time then I say fuck, I would ping the fuck counter. But for some reason, I forgot to do. I think I know why. Because if fuck was the only swearing that I was using during that fucking thing, I would probably only use the fucking counter. But since it's not, I think would be unusable. I would probably need to go on a swear counter. So yeah. Now, I not being calm and reasonable on this video. I think I stated that on the beginning. I said that I would be trying, but this is like going to end up going on ramblings of a madman territory. Now, maybe I should be a little. I think the reason is maybe I forgot to utilize my little styling to interject, because normally when I go on rants, I place him, but since I was still doing some points or another, I didn't think it was necessary, and since since during all the videos that I'm done, during the second round talking about the video of tier loot, every time I talk about, I said then, it's not worth talking about until we got confirmation if cosmetics will be transmogrifiable or not. And I started the video saying this can go in Ramblings of a Madman. I thought then that was self-explanatory. But that's a problem on my own. As I already said many times on some of my videos, I need to be a little bit more upfront and explain some of the things, because as sometimes on other videos I already said, I cannot like simply believe it and everyone is watching the entire series. Now, back to the point. Okay, the placement of the word fucking was wrong. Okay, learn how to fucking swear, bro. I swear the way that I want. Now, about my flip-flop. I guess I could accept this. I think I mostly use, I guess I can survive with this. But okay, although both of they are not the same, I will place the reason why I use that. If you again, that's a problem because it takes precedence from other videos, not this one. Because I explain the problem, I say how I would implement a reasonable way to be implemented, or how I would implement it, and then I say why Ubisoft wouldn't do, and I utilize on the middle to transact between a point and another. The I guess it could survive with this when I say like a transitional way. For example, when I talked about the class system, the second time I talked about the class system, I pointed out my way to do. I would utilize an open class system where you would choose from up to 3 perks or 2, depending on how they would utilize. If they added a open class, I would say they should limit the number of perks for 2 instead of 3 on most of the classes. And yes, I know Assault only has 2. And make you choose about what proficiency you would have on class, make you choose the special gadgets that you have, and made you choose the class skill that you would have. With that in mind, I said then that is my way to do things, and I do the hyperbolic stuff there, and then I go around to 2 other ways. Then they are not the right. They are not like the better way, the way that I'm say that things should be done. And let's be honest, my way is not the better one. Redman came up with a far better way to do things. On the comment on that video, where they literally just pointed out. When I pointed out the ways to do would be get rid of the restrictions for the special gadgets. Like, special gadgets are for everyone, you just have to pick one, and they unlock each time. They unlock when you unlock the class. And the second one was get rid of the weapon restrictions. And I say, this is something that I can survive with, because it's a compromise between both of mine. I'm not getting the open class system, but I'm getting free range for weapons or the gadgets that I'm gonna use. I'm gonna get less restriction. That is kind of what I personally want. That's one I'm literally saying that I fit more in the. I'm fitting in the middle between the first and second category than Rapman create for the quote unquote archetypes or stereotype from the community of Ghost Recon Breakpoint right now. Ghost Recon franchise right now. I'm like in the middle, in the between of 1 and 2. And when I talk about the loot system, I still made the point in the same way. There was, if the class, how I would do, that was, if you remember, like, if you watch the video, you know, then there was a point when I said, oh, the first thing that I saw when I was watching the tier system, and when they said there will be weapons part, I said, I see what you're doing there, Ubisoft. What I was saying is what many people in the community was saying. It would be cool if you have to maintain your weapon, if you need to set up camp and take care of your weapon, or doing in the main base, where you would take weapons parts and maintain your weapon, fix something, and that would make your weapon up the tier. For example, every weapon that you pick up starts on gray, and for example, has more you go up front and get from more weapons from, how can I say, from, you go up on the game, you get different weapons. They may be for the fact they are from the PMC or from the wolves itself. They could start from a higher quality standard. Or for example, if you get weapons for a quest line, they probably should be a little bit higher standard than the weapons that you pick up from someone's body. But back to the point. You would get the weapons part and you would maintain your weapon, then your weapon would grow, and not grow, would, yeah, it would grow on tier. It would be symbolize the state of your weapon, how well kept it is, how well maintained you are keeping your weapon, and how more missions you run that during without stop to maintain your weapon. It could be simply your weapon would be degrading. Has Wildlands do that on a cosmetic view? if you sit down and if you use your weapon a lot without like giving a quote unquote new paint job, you see then you're gonna start seeing scratches and stuff like that. The paint job gonna start wearing out, and that's it. That was quote unquote what I was implying on that front. And then I said, then they would not implement that because really, I cannot say a easy way out from day to implement a fix on the loot mechanic at this point on the development cycle because the tier loot is highly implemented on the game for quest lines, for areas on the game. Then the only purpose to do it is to get a better gear, and they can utilize the gear loot, the grind has excuse for the always online. Why? Because well, we are maintaining the loot distribution has server side things, so that's why we cannot turn the game on offline. It is excused nonetheless, but here we go. Now about the last part of this. Ubisoft already addressed that when there will be no grinding necessary to play content. You can play the mainline missions and be fine without grinding. You can play Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 without grinding, and you can play with the broken straight sword. I don't see From Software advertising that. Second, Ubisoft doesn't have the fuck of a clue what's going on. And I can safely say that if you look on the Division 2. Look, they on the Division they have something called State of the Game. It's a live stream they do, which I think is in the middle of the week, one day before they do the normal maintenance, server maintenance, which the game is offline for it. They sit down and they talk about how the game is shaping up. They review things that are gonna be coming on the next patch. They talk about mechanics of the game, and they address, for example, bugs. During most of the existence of the Division 2, there was a bug on consoles. People were complaining there was a hit register issue. You would hit someone and the hit would not count. Mostly on consoles. There was a lot of people who they made a great breakdown, piece by piece, reason by reason, motive by motive, why that could be a thing. They laid out a great way, and they give that to Ubisoft. On this state of the game, Ubisoft said, we know this is a problem, and we will address this, because this problem only happens on the shooting range. Then, the next week, everyone then was complaining double, because the thing still happened, and now we have a lot of videos showing that Ubisoft doesn't fucking know what they are doing. See, I said fucking, I'm sorry. I know you were offended by it. Showing that the problem is on PvP, it's on conflict. Not only that, but the armor kit, not more med kit, glitch is still a thing, and nothing said about it. I think they said something on the state of the game, they know it exists, but yeah, that is it. Not only that, but if you really have to know how Ubisoft doesn't really know what's happening on their franchise, quote unquote, is see the interview with Kotaku, the latest one, where they literally say the Division is going on the right path, even while everyone is complaining about grinding and looting. The loot, the grinding, the fact that there's no building diversity, there is no... The first raid of the game was literally just DPS check, and not many people like that. The fact that skill builds is still broken. See that? Okay. Now you can say that this is just a massive problem. This problem will not be from the entire company. Go to the forums on Ubisoft, go to Recon Breakpoint, and see for yourself. when literally everyone is complaining and saying then they don't want always online, and then always online does not is not better for the gameplay. They state fairly a good amount of reason, and Ubisoft, the only response that Ubisoft gave us is to make to it's the better way to all the players, to ensure that all the players have better the better performance, enjoyment. I don't remember the quote. We going to do this always online. And on this video, I mostly addressed one other thing that I saw most on the forums was because Ubisoft are not giving information, the forums and the community are doing assumptions. Because the forum and the community are doing assumptions, the community managers are doing assumptions over the assumptions of the community. So nobody understood fuck all what's happening between both of the parties. That's why right now the development of this game is interesting to say the least. So now, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be it. My throat is really hurting me. I need to take some medicine for it and sleep a little. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This was the video. If you enjoyed, leave it a like. If you didn't, leave it a dislike. If you have anything to say, please leave a comment. And if you want to see what the hell is gonna be coming next on this mess, subscribe. And see you guys on the next episode.